Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Wade from Unparalleled Universe. I just wanted to let you know about the Kickstarter that I've launched for the first ever 1/12 scale Odious figure. Odious is a character that I've created, and I'm trying to make a figure of him via Kickstarter, so be sure to check that out. Odious 1/12 scale action figure on Kickstarter. Thank you very much. Peace.
Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series, the Marvel's Totally Awesome Hulk Build-A-Figure Wave. Here we have Noh-Varr Marvel Boy. This one is not one that I'm too excited about, as I am really not familiar with the character, so I'm not really going to get into a whole lot of things. It's going to be just a straight-up review talking about the figure and doing a comparison with the Iron Patriot figure, as Noh-Varr was part of the Dark Avengers as that team's Captain Marvel. That's not what this suit represents. The suit would be more like the Young Avengers, so I will do a side-by-side comparison with Kate Bishop, and then, of course, the comparison with the other figures from the wave. He has the left arm to the Totally Awesome Hulk Build-A-Figure Amadeus Cho. It does come with an extra hand as well, so we'll stick that off to the side, and we'll take a look at him. He does come with two accessories. He has these these blasters that are specific to Noh-Varr, which is cool. He does have newly sculpted hands, which I will get to when we look at the figure. But one thing that I do want to point out is this figure has been just paint chipping like crazy, which doesn't usually happen with Marvel Legends figures. But this thing, it is just all over the place. And really where I think it was is inside of the hip joints. It just started flaking away as I was moving the legs around and everything. And it's just paint falling out and paint going everywhere. That's not typical with Marvel Legends figures. There's sometimes accessories and things like that. But on the figure, that's usually not what we see, so it was a little bit odd. Looking at the package, we just get the generic Marvel logo down the front, down at the top as well. We get the artwork of Noh-Varr Marvel Boy there on the side. We have all the figures in the wave to build the Totally Awesome Hulk. We've already taken a look at the 3 MCU figures. We are on to Marvel Boy. Next up is going to be Karnak, then Commander Rogers, and then the Heroes Return Iron Man before we look at Amadeus Cho Hulk. You can see here the loadout. You get the Build-A-Figure piece, the 2 blasters, and the figure. So we'll get that out of the way, and then we'll get in for the closer look at Noh-Varr. Okay, so here's an up-close look at the Noh-Varr figure, and the head sculpt looks okay, but I don't know if this is a QC issue on mine or if it's going to be the same on all of the other ones. His jaw on the left side looks very wide, like it's super swollen, like he got knocked on this side or something, and that could just be mine being a little bit warped, or maybe they're all like that, or maybe it's just me, but I could still see a little bit of white in that neck piece, whereas I don't see any white here, just because that cheek is just massively swollen there. It has a little extra piece of hair coming out there. The digital print on him looks pretty good, but yeah, that cheek, there's definitely something going on in there. The rest of the figure looks pretty good. We get some gold there on the shoulders. We get these newly sculpted hands that have kind of this design on them there. And that is actually similar to the blasters, as you can see there. And these blasters are just done in a gold plastic color. There is a peg hole in there, so that might fit like one of the smoke effects or something, if you have those handy. We do get 2 of these, and they are not the exact same. As you could see that they are opposites in how those handles work there, so you can have one in each hand. So again, they're just kind of mirror images of themselves. No extra hands or anything like that. Looking at the rest of the figure, it looks pretty good. Green and white, they're all applied fairly well. The only thing would be all the paint chipping that's going on in those hip pieces, and you could see, like, for whatever reason, those hip pieces were painted white. Like, why would they need to be if they just use white plastic? It was a little bit odd. This is the Spider-Man, the all-new, all-different Spider-Man 2099 body. Some of you guys know it as the Sunfire body. It does have pins because it is, again, a reused old body, but black on black, not a big deal to me. Black on black, not a big deal. The only thing that makes it a big deal is why not give us the pinless stuff? Because if it's new, let's start transitioning them all. At the end of the day, not that big of a deal, but just thought I'd point it out there. And then one thing is there is no paint on the back of the figure. If I looked up images, that the white should continue all the way up. So unfortunately, Hasbro skimped out on completing the full look of the suit and putting the white paint on there. So kind of like in the front, you would see that all the way in the back. A lot of time that we don't get paint on the back, but something like that we usually would, so it's kind of surprising a little bit, even still being surprised that the lack of paint apps there. So that's unfortunate. And we get this floating belt there. It's just done in a gold plastic color with a little bit of red paint. That red paint is fairly off center, which makes it look sloppy because it's just not quite centered on there, which is a little unfortunate. But as far as the figure, paint apps and stuff, nothing to really complain about other than, you know, missing paint on the back. So now let's go ahead and see how he moves, which we've seen this figure a bunch of times. At this point, truly everybody should be familiar with how this body moves. Can look all the way up as the head is on a disc hinge, can look down there. You get a full rotation in the head, not really any pivot going on in there. The shoulder you can get to go straight on out like so. Full rotation in there. Whoops, full rotation. There is the butterfly joint, so the butterfly goes back a crazy amount, comes forward a little bit, so you can do some crossbody, as you could see there. Upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbow. It does have pins, you get that much bend there. It's not really gummy. I mean, it's a little loose. There's been much worse, and then this leg down here at the knee is a little bit gummy. But other than that, it's not too bad. Where it's not like the Future Foundation Spider-Man, which is, you know, really bad. Wrist swivel, and they do hinge. We get the vertical hinge on both of these trigger finger hands, which is good. So they paid attention and got the right hinges for those blaster hands. We got the ab crunch on there, so we can crunch forward that far. We can crunch back that much. The paint does continue, so that is good. You got the waist swivel in there. Legs go out that far apart, and I got more paint chips falling there. He can kick forward that far, so he can kick forward very high up. Leg doesn't really go back. You got an upper thigh cut in there. Double jointed knee, does have pins. There is a calf swivel there. Foot hinges all the way down. You get some hinge up, ankle pivot, peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So still really good articulation. It is just an older body that's just becoming more and more overused as the figures keep coming out. So at some point, you know, we would just prefer to probably shy away from it and stick with like the Vulcan body, but it is still a really good body, so I don't want to hate on it too much, unlike, you know, the Bucky Cat body, which just, again, got used way too often and was decent enough, but it was a little undersized for my liking, for like, you know, as far as the height of the figure. This one is, you know, basically one of my favorite bodies, but again, just being used a little too often. Okay, so for some side-by-side comparisons, just quickly, we have the old Iron Patriot figure. Would love to see a new one now that we got a new Extremis Iron Man figure. No reason why we would not get a repaint of the of that figure for the Iron Patriot. I would love to get it. Hopefully we will get it. No doubt in my mind that Hasbro will give it to us, especially when like the Thunderbolts movie comes out. I could see that being a good, easy tie-in to be able to do, you know, like a Thunderbolts Dark Avengers wave type of thing. And I bet that's probably when we would see that. Although I wouldn't mind getting it earlier than that. And then as far as Young Avengers, here we have the Kate Bishop Hawkeye. Okay, and so here we have the wave so far, 4 out of the 7 figures, and then 8 if you include the Build-A-Figure. We got the Ms. Marvel Kamala Khan, the Photon Monica Rambeau, the Captain Marvel Carol Danvers, and of course Noh-Varr Marvel Boy. So the first comic figure to come up, next one will be Karnak, part of the Inhumans, and then Commander Rogers and the Iron Man figure. You guys let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of this Noh-Varr Marvel Boy figure? Is this the look that you would like, or do you want like, oh, he has had the Protector figure. That was another alias at one time for him. So that figure has come out in maybe the Arnim Zola wave. I'm not sure exactly which wave that is. So this isn't technically our first Noh-Varr figure, first as far as Marvel Boy. And then, you know, maybe we'll get, if you use the Captain Marvel figure, maybe you can kind of double that as, you know, for your Dark Avengers. I'm not sure if there's any kind of variation in the suit. You guys can let me know that down in the comments below. But you guys let me know your thoughts on this Noh-Varr Marvel Boy figure down in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit that join button to become a channel member and be a part of the MCU Collective and show support for the channel. I really appreciate it. And as always, thank you for watching.